All right, y'all. You know what it is. GMOGMedia TV back with another one. All right, so Doja Cat has been getting a lot of flack. Um, to be honest with you, man, I think this is a very strategic move for her um, campaign as far as music and marketing. What I mean by that is what she okay the videos that are surfacing about her talking with these white supremacists online, 4chan and stuff like that. Um, I think is a strategy basically to her for her to keep her name out there, and she's coming out with another album or a single, whatever the case may be. So yeah, she did those things. Yes, is this going to affect her career? Not really. It's going to take a bit, and she'll be right back in the swing of things. So she has that factor because she is a mixed race. She's black. She's white. But in the eyes of the dominant white society, she's considered black. But she's also a tragic mulatto. I'll break down tragic mulatto in a minute. But um, I think this is all a marketing ploy. I think this is all a marketing ploy. Just for her to keep her name out there. She has new music dropping and stuff like that. That's what I think it is. All right. But for those of you who don't know, Doja Cat is a female rapper out of California. Like I said, she's mixed race, and she's been getting a lot of slack recently with videos that have been surfacing of her talking to white supremacists on these online chats and making also a so-called racist song called "Didn't Do Nothing." I ain't listened to the song, so I haven't listened to the songs. I don't know what how the song is or whatever the case may be. But she issued an apology. I'll read the apology real quick, and then I'll give you guys my commentary after that. So she posted on her Instagram, her official Instagram page with 6.7 million followers. She says, "I want to address what's happening on Twitter. I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child." Side note, she didn't write this. This is her publicist who wrote this. But anyway, I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of these chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I don't know why you had to lie like that. Just accept that. Just accept that you lie. I mean, just accept that you were involved in racist conversations. And I'm gonna break down, and I've said this before in previous videos. I'm gonna break down the difference between being a racist and practicing racism. All right. So she says she's never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. I'm a black woman. Half my family is black from South Africa, and I'm very proud of where I come from. Right. As for the old song that's resurfaced, it was in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience. It was written in response to people who often use that term to hurt me. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. I understand my influence and impact, and I'm taking this to all very seriously. I love you all, and I'm sorry for the upsetting or hurting any of you. That's not my character, and I'm determined to show that to everybody moving forward. Thank you. All right, so yeah, it's an official statement that was written by her publicist, and it would have been better if she would have accepted those things that she did in those racist chat rooms, right? Say I was a part of the chat rooms, I said racist things, and that's not who I am now. I back then I was trying to find myself, just stuff, something like that. Just accept it, right, and apologize and move on. You just said no, I wasn't involved in any racist conversations. Yes, you were. That's a goddamn lie. So let's break down racist, right? So black people, right? People who are classified as black, Negro, African American, colored. Um, can we practice being a racist? Yes, we can. The problem with being a racist, if you're accused of being a racist, the only power you have of being a racist is name calling, right? Is actual name calling. That's the only power you have. If you're accused of being a racist and you're classified as black, the only power you have is name calling. That's it. So let's break down the etymology of the word racist, right? So etymology online. So the word was first derived, according to Etymology Online, in 1932. All right, an adjective in 1932. It says, returning recently from a 6-month visit to Europe, the Reverend John LaForge noted Catholic writer warned at a dinner given in the honor that his destructive forces of racism, and I'll talk about racism in a minute as well, are increasing in the United States in that they could cause irreparable harm among the people if immediate steps are not taken to combat them. Father Lafarge said that American racism is directed principally against Negroes, Jews, and foreigners. He described it as the pale but venomous cousin of Nazi racism. Like its Nazi counterpart, he added, it was erected impossible barriers between extensive regions and large groups of people, has formed its own myths and molded its own social institutions, and above all has come consistently into conflict with Christian teachings. And there's the reference there, Opportunity Journal of Negro Life in February 1939. Okay. And the rest says, in the U.S., race hatred, race prejudice has been used, and especially in the 19th century political context, Negrophobia, Anglo-Saxism as belief in the superiority of the English race has been used disparagingly. It attested in British and American English from 1819. All right. So basically, from this history or the origin of the word racist, any race can practice being a racist. See, they said Negroes, Jews, foreigners. That those particular body of groups were being victimized as, being victims of racists or racism, right? So another group of people were mistreating another group of people based off color. Right? That's what the history of racism came from. Now, let's talk about racism. Okay? Racism. By 1928, in common use from 1935, originally in European context, applied to American social systems from the late 1930s. Okay. Let me see here. There is another definition that I saw as well. Okay. Yeah, so right here, right? All right, so right here, I'm gonna go back to this one because they have it in this section as well. Okay, so basically, if you read back to this paragraph, it says in the U.S., race hatred, prejudice has been used, especially in the 19th century political context, Negrophobia, Anglo-Saxism, quote, as belief in the superiority of the English race, right, has been used anti-Negro. Okay. Let's Google that. Right? So, superiority of the English race. All right. That is the root of racism. Superiority of the English race. As you can see, superior. I'm just looking up the word superior. All right. Superiority of the English race. Anti-Negro. Okay. So when you're practicing racism, you can't be black. We don't have any power to do that. You need it's a power construct to execute laws, to ratify decisions to affect a group of people based off skin color, right? To garner up military and government officials and personnels to gather a group of people from another continent and bring them over to another continent by making them do slavery, antebellum slavery, making them do work basically free labor, all right, which is called the transatlantic slave trade. That's been, happening for over 500 years. The first slave to step foot on U.S. soil was 1505. Wasn't 1619. 1505. So that's my point. If you're classified as black, you can't practice racism because it's a power construct. You don't have the power. You don't have the infrastructure to garner up a group of people to mistreat another group of people. You can't do that. Sure, you can name call. That's racist. Yeah, you know, all kinds of names, but that's just powerless. It's just names. It's just, words. But exhibiting and practicing racism to mistreat a group of people based off color, that's where another group of people only have that power to do so. Okay. Now going back to Doja Cat. All right. So Doja Cat, and I'm gonna end it off with this. Doja Cat, you know, she, I've always considered her a tragic mulatto. Now I will give her that she is talented. She is definitely talented, but she uses her music to basically, she uses her music as a symbol of acceptance because her appearance. Her mother's white, her father's black, right? Like she says, from South Africa. So she, tragic mulattoes are people who can't identify who they came from. They don't know whether they're not. They don't even know whether they're black or white. So that's why they're called tragic mulattoes, because they can't find acceptance to their culture, which is either from the white side or their black side. They have an identity crisis. They have self acceptance issues. That's what a tragic mulatto is. So I'll read to you a brief definition of tragic mulatto. The tragic mulatto is a stereotypical character that appeared in American literature during the 19th and 20th century from the 1840s. The tragic mulatto is a archetypical mixed race person, mulatto, who is assumed to be sad or even suicidal. Because they fail to completely fit in the world or the black world, the white world or the black world as such, the tragic mulatto is depicted as a victim of society divided by race, where there's no place for one who is neither completely black or white. Okay? Period. That's exactly what Doja Cat is. She can't identify with white or black, and she goes into these racist chat rooms to experience what it feels like to be white and racist and stuff like that. And that's what it is. She just has an identity crisis thing that's happening. So, I think her career will take a little slight hit, but she'll be back on the scene, and she's garnering a lot of attention in a negative way, but her name is still out there, and people are still gonna be checking for her music, and that's what it is. If people like, and I hate bringing this guy, I won't bring his name up, but you guys know what I'm talking about, the rat. If a rat can still be more popular than anybody, this guy just gained like 3-4 million followers ever since he got out of jail, right? And each time he makes a post on social media, he just breaking records. When he went on live, a couple weeks ago, he had the most amount of people watching him live. So if people like that can be successful and be more relevant, then this stuff right here, will make her relevant as well. You know what I mean? So I think it's one and the same, basically. And she has the identity of being, basically a mixed rapper who is, according to the dominant white society, is black, but she's also white as well. She has that in her favor. When I'm saying she has the look, is what I'm basically trying to say. She has the look to continue to extend her career. So her career will not take a major hit. She'll still continue on, just like the rat. Okay, I won't give this guy. I won't say his name, but just like the rat. All right. So anyway, those are my thoughts on that, family. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at GMOGFitness. You already know what it is, family. Until next time, signing out. Peace.